Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to show you another beautiful things you must take care of when you are considering investing in oil palm field. As I have said earlier, nursery is key, and you save a whole lot of cost when you invest in nursery activities. And it's a bit technical because that is the young life of a palm which must be taken good care of. In oil palm business, there are different hurdles at different stages that you will have to cross. And knowing what to do part time will actually save you a lot. Talking about oil palm setup, one of the stages you must cross is the nursery stage. And that is if you decided not to buy a seedling and you want to go through the route of getting a sprouted nut and nurse it yourself to the development. And I must say that it is important that you take that route because that will save you a whole lot of money in your investment journey into oil palm field. Because the prevalence price of a seedling now is around 3,000 naira, depending on how many months they keep it in a nursery farm. So therefore, I will take you through the process of setting up your nursery and what you need to do part time. And I'm going to also show you, some of the experimental work that I'm carrying out here in order to compare between using organic fertilizer in nursery setup and inorganic fertilizer in nursery setup. So, and what we are trying to find out, this is an experimental work that has been carried out at the Nigerian Institute for Oil Palm Research in Benin. And in order to test it, just to have a confirmatory test upon this result, and I'm also doing this just to show you. So what I'm about to show you is the ash, and I will tell you how this is connected to having highly proficiency methods of keeping a sustainable nursery practices, and also develop and building the life of a young sprouted nut to a seedlet or seedling. So what I have with me is an ash. This is the ash of a fresh fruit bunch put into ashes and mixed with eggshell. And this component is highly rich in calcium, highly rich in magnesium, and highly rich in organic matters such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And this is highly essential for the growth of a sprouted nut to become a seedlet or seedling. So we're going to test run the mixture of ash and eggshell, and as well as running eggshell alone and also ash alone. So we're going to do that. So, and also I would like to also show you what a sprouted nut looks like. For many of us that don't know, I've not seen a sprouted nut or the process it takes a sprouted nut to become this. So this is a sprouted nut. This is a tenera sprouted nut. You cannot know. And that's what we're saying about you buying your seedling or sprouted nuts. You buy your sprouted nuts at a verified and standard place. And the recommended place to buy your sprouted nuts is NIFO. Let me say it again. Don't patronize the adulterated people that are growing sprouted nuts on their roof. Because at the end of the day, you will not know the mistake you are and the crime you are committing until after 4 years, when you expect the palm tree to start fruiting and it's not giving you the expectant result. And many people have been caught in this way and they are crying because they have wasted time, they have wasted money, and their hope was still dashed. So this is a sprouted nut, and when you look at the sprouted nut, you see it, you can see two growth from it. This particular one is what they call radicle, while this bigger one is what they call plumo. And this represents the root formation. This is where the palm nut takes its root formation. That is, the radicle. And this place is where, it begins to form a tree. And this is where we call plume. It has to be carefully handled when you want to plant. So, and you can see, the nut is highly rich, and it's doing well as of this time that I'm making this video. So I will tell you, the process it entails, to plant this and to nurse it, in a bags, and such that you give it adequate nutrients that it requires. I must equally let you know that, setting up your nursery, good soil is highly important. And this will help you, to ensure that your sprouted nut take off nicely. When you have a good soil, and the recommended soil is a loamy soil, loamy sandy soil, the soil that does not, retain water, that has high level of, porosity, such that it can keep moderate water but not getting flooded. So come with me, let me show you this. In nursery setup, we have two stages in nursery setup. We have a single stage nursery and we have double stage nursery. A single stage nursery simply means that you don't want to go through pre-nursery stage. And pre-nursery stage simply means that you have to plant into a smaller bag, then you transfer into a bigger bag, bigger polythene bag. So, and the process of going through pre-nursery stage down to a planting again in the bigger bag is called double stage. You go through two processes. First of all, you plant into a smaller bag. Then after it becomes seedless, having 3 leaves, then you transfer the bag with the entire bulk of earth, bigger bag. I will explain with this. So this represents a smaller bag. Talking about stages in nursery system. So I said we have a single stage nursery system and we have a double stage nursery system. Double stage nursery system. So first off, double stage nursery system involves that you first of all go through pre-nursery stage by using a smaller bag, usually about 25 cm by 25 cm bags. So, but I don't have that. This is the reason why I'm using such a water nylon, such that we can, have a good representations of what I'm talking about. So, you double stage nursery practice involves that you first of all plant into this smaller bag. Then afterwards, when the seed has sprouted and develop 3 leaves, we call it seedlet at that stage. You then transfer the entire bulk of this earth with the plant growing in it and put it in a bigger bag such as this. Okay, so, and it is so simple, but it has its own advantage. Going through the double stage, nursery practice ensures that you can monitor the growth of every piece of sprouted nut you have. There is high tendency of growth rate because they are compacted. And also, it also helps you to move around, especially when you are doing, bulk of nursery. You want to do set up 20,000 nursery. Filling up the bigger bag will take you a longer hour to do, and also will actually wear your laborer out while doing that. So that is just the advantage. Also, it has its downside. The downside is that you have to, employ so many people to go through the process twice. So what you are again running away from, you are going to, still, because the main feed usually is under a year, from 10 months, 11 months to 1 year or more. That is when you can start moving your nursery ceilings down to the main feed where you are going to establish them. So people consider all these things, and that is why, I make a decisions as to which of the practices, which of the type of nursery system they are going to embark on. But in all sincerity, to me, I rather go through the stress of filling up the bags at once rather than going through the process of, having to do pre-nursery stage, and transferring into, the main nursery bags. So that's settled. And when you are filling up your nursery bag, ensure that you use a good, polythene bag structured in a way that it has a perforated holes beneath to ensure the draining of water, especially when you are wetting, your nursery seedlings. It is important that you know that these things are perforated and they have a drain so that water will not lodge too much and causing leaching of manure or fertilizers that you are applying, for the nursery seedlings. So that's taken care of. You should also ensure that you allow, immediately you fill up the bag, you fill it 3/4 of the height of that bag. 3/4 of the height of that bag. So 3/4 of the height of the bag simply is to ensure retaining of, please come, is to ensure the retaining of nutrients present in the soil, and also you allow it to consolidate for like a week or some days before you introduce your seedling, sprouted nut, before you introduce your sprouted nut. And again, now let me teach you how to plant your sprouted nuts. Whenever you want to plant your sprouted nuts, you go through the process of using your thumb, to make, please come, to make a hole into the soil, just as I have done. Not too deep, but such that this radicle will be able to go in and the plume will be facing up. You can see this is curved, but you try as much as possible to ensure that this goes up, and then you cover up with, you can see that, you can see what I've just done here. You cover up with soil. You see, cover up like that. You have actually just ensure that you establish this in a nursery bag. So this is the process of setting up an oil palm nursery system and planting of sprouted nuts successfully. I hope you have benefited from it. So do well to share this video, and if you are looking for a farm, oil palm feeds to set up, or you want to buy a farm, kindly consult with us. And if you are also thinking of setting up an oil palm nursery, oil palm feed, we are your go-to person. We deliver. And likewise, if you want a proper training as to how to go about all this, don't hesitate to consult with us. Our prices are fair. Likewise, if you want to get your sprouted nuts from NIFO, don't hesitate. Give us a call. Call the number scrolling on the screen. See ya.